There we go. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to our sweet Regency ramblings today. We are so excited to get started again and to be able to do this video with you all. Today's topic, if you saw the notification before, today's topic is Whist Not, Want Not. And we are going to be discussing all things Regency gaming. So this isn't like a history lesson because we don't want to teach it. We just want to talk to each other about it, right?
Right.
Okay, so the first question I have for us is, what games have you had? Is there an echo? Do you hear
There's
an
an
echo?
echo.
Is
I
there?
don't hear an echo.
Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, if there's an echo, somebody in the comments tell us. Okay, so the first question I have for you is, what games have you had in your books?
Who wants to
Who's
go
starting?
first?
I can start since I have one book and
Yes.
one game in my one book. So I did Blind Man's Bluff or Blind Man's Buff, which apparently the buff came from because in the Middle Ages they used to whack the person with the blindfold on.
Oh,
Who knew? But I took it down a notch. Super fun game. They used to basically like stand in a group, put a blindfold on, and then they would search for each other, and they'd kind of like all stay there and dodge them and stuff. And then when they caught hold of someone, they would have to use their hands to guess who it was, which is super scandalous, I feel like, in the Regency period. So it was a really fun one to write in a book. And so I thought it was a really fun scene. So that game I will always be fond of.
that's so cute because you can totally imagine the situations they'd get themselves in.
Oh, exactly.
The hijinks that could ensue.
Exactly.
I'm picturing an accidental tripping, falling atop someone.
Oh, yes.
The romance that could ensue.
Yes.
I love
I have
that.
to put that in my next book. Who
Good
knew?
one.
What about you,
I
Sarah?
had cricket in mine. So
Tell
I
us
think
about
that's
cricket.
I think that's the only I don't know that I've actually had like a card game in mine. I'm too scared to write them, honestly.
They're so tricky.
Yeah. Cricket was fun though because I could make all the guys take their jackets off. So
That's
roll
always a good
roll
thing.
up the sleeves.
Oh, yeah. Show some forearm.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's the one that they ride on the horse, right? Or do they just hit the bat? No, Polo's the horse.
Yeah, Polo's the horse. I was like, oh gosh, I hope they don't because I did not put them on a horse.
Isn't cricket like croquet?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
It's like the
it's in
baseball
Becoming Jane
kind of.
Right.
It's the game they play.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
they and like bat it low, right?
right. Yep.
Ooh, that's nice.
Mhm.
Which
It's
book?
not complicated rules.
Yeah, it does. It has really complicated rules. It took for like I read all about it and wrote it in as well. You read all about it to be able to write like a line for it in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like immediately forgot all the information. Just like,
Of course.
like when you
As
cram
you do.
before a test in high school and then it's like done after that. You're like, I hope no one will ever force me to play cricket.
then you had to remember what was for the next line. All the
exactly.
for the next
Yeah.
line you were writing. So
right.
yeah.
What about you, Mindy?
I did in my last book, I did Hazard, which I get the idea. It's like modern day craps or the prequel to modern day craps, but I'm not a gambler, so I've never played craps in my life. So I have no idea if that's actually accurate or not. So he did play he didn't play craps. He played Hazard, which is a dice game. So it was lovely. It really did nothing. Well, it did. I was going to say it did nothing to like bring them together, but it kind of did because he threw the game so that he lost. And so, because he was playing a against a bunch of sailors that don't make a lot of money. And so he wagered high so that they could win big.
Oh,
So
what a noble guy.
It did endear him a little bit and made him not look like such a loser.
That's sweet.
That's always good.
He's a loser to start out with. So, you know. But, and then I've also done Battledore.
What is that?
I think it's sometimes also called shuttlecock, but really the shuttlecock it's like badminton.
Mm-hmm.
But the shuttlecock really is the name of the birdie.
Right.
So, but I think either one is appropriate. So that's a good one though, because that's another one of those, both going for the ball, run into each other, land on top of each other. Romance.
It's the best kind of romance.
Romance.
And if it's muddy, even better.
Oh,
I do like that.
So, yeah.
I have. Go ahead.
I have mentioned Whist, but I've never actually played it. I've only had them watch so that I didn't have to come up with the rules, because I watched a game of Whist and I still have no idea how to play it. So
that will be my next question one of my questions is about Whist, because we have to talk about Whist, because Kelly says I'm here. Hooray. Welcome, Kelly.
What about you, Deborah? What games have you done?
So I was trying to think of the ones. I pretty much have a game in like every book because I'm so original. But I've done like chess, the normal ones, and I've done short answers, and I've done 12th Night Revels, and I've done Whist, and I kind of have just briefly mentioned like during like dinner parties that they play random games, but I usually don't look up the rules. I just have them say that they play the game and I skip over the scene, because trying to figure out some of those rules it's kind of annoying. But I did do the short answer one. I did look into, and that one we're going to play at the end of our video.
Ooh.
Yes. And it's going to show how really, really witty and clever we are.
Oh gosh, no pressure.
Not at all.
Okay, so we mentioned a little bit about this, but like, why do we put the games in our books romantically? So what in those games that have you had any romantic tension in those actual scenes with the games? You think of any? Oh, Jess is nodding. Let's hear it.
So mine is a setup. So you kind of get to see a little bit of two other characters' interest in each other. And then my protagonist and my hero, they have this moment where he finds her. And at first, like when she was watching, this was her first time watching the game. And so she was like really excited and enjoying it and thinking it was really funny until she got picked by this guy. It's kind of a enemies to lovers story. And this is right in this transition, like the awkward transition where they're kind of both having feelings. Anyway, so he picks her and she notices like neither of them are laughing. Neither, like it turns super serious. He's like, you know, they trace like each other's faces and like the lips and, you know, just like the whole like thing. And like, then one of the side guys is kind of like, have a guess yet? Like you've been spending a lot of time.
Oh, I love that.
So it's a really fun scene. It was one of my favorites to write. So yeah, I felt like the game definitely upped the tension right there.
That's so awesome. I love it. I love it. I love when we can use things from the era and actually, because it's very restricted. Everything's just very restricted. So I love those moments when you can actually like amp up that tension and use it to your advantage and just make it so romantic. That's wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah. I always just did I think with my Whist, they touched hands with cards. And I don't even that's like the chances of that happening is like so unlikely. But I'm like, this'll work.
Literary license.
Exactly.
On our Whist one, then I told you my other ones how I led to hijinks, but on the Whist one, then it was a wager was made and the reward, I don't know what you call that. I'm a big gambler, as you can tell. was that the losers had to waltz with the winners, or vice versa.
I like
So-
that.
Okay, that's fun.
So it made, which I'm sure it's still the wrong waltz, but whatever. We're going with it.
I always get so nervous to write a waltz in.
I know. So it's a waltz. It's probably not a historically accurate waltz, but you know what? It's okay.
I love that.
You know what? People are mostly okay because waltzes do what we want them to do, right? Brings in that touch of, well, it should be more than a touch. So anyway, that's one of the things we did.
That's fun.
But it was with Regency House Party. So someone else got to play the game and write in their book all the rules. And so I just had to watch. My characters just watched and then got to benefit from the outcome.
That was the
That was
best.
like the best way to do it.
Oh, that is super nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mine isn't really like, well, yeah, there's romance all in my scene. It's kind of like Jess's scene where it's like, they're checking each other out from afar. But I used it more, I don't want to like spoil. So if you've not read Seeing Mary and you want to see Seeing Mary, just like skip over this, just plug your ears. But I used it to like to highlight the villain versus the hero more. So it's like where the villain, you start to see that he's actually not going to be the good guy. And so the hero kind of gets to have his moment to show his tenderness, and the other guy, he gets hit in the eye with a ball, which is what like propels everything forward.
Oh, that is funny.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I want to ask the people watching, as well as all of you, are there any games that you have read about in other books, or any that you have researched for this that you personally would want to play or would not want to play? Well, there's a comment. I read one. Kelly says, I read one where they had to make the other one smile, kind of an enemies to lovers story.
Oh, that's so
That's the
fun.
cutest thing ever. Aw.
I played that game at a church retreat, like in junior high. It was called Honey, If You Love Me, Smile. Have you played that game already?
No, but that sounds so cute.
So of course, like all the boys like come up and they have to like get in like right in front of you, and then you can't smile, and you have to say, "Honey, if you love me, smile." And but nobody can smile, and it's the hardest thing. Anyway, sorry, tangent.
Oh, that's cute. It's really cute. So there's this one game. Have you heard of well, I don't know if it's so much as a game as a forfeit that they had to play, but I don't really understand all that. So I'm not going to try and profess that I do. But there's this game called The Beast of Burden, I think. Have you guys heard of it?
Okay, I've heard of it, but I can't remember.
Okay, so like, I'm not going to teach about this, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But like, I think the guy has to pay like a forfeit or something like that. One of the guys has to crawl on the floor, basically like a horse, and the woman sits on him while another guy kisses her. So let me see if that works. Do you see that picture?
In a Regency game? Like,
Yeah. Can you see it?
Wow.
guys, we can get away with so much more than we think we can.
Please post a link. I would like to see
I
that.
will. So there's, I think that's on the janeausten.co.uk site, but I could be wrong. So they have some of the ones that I have been researching are like, so I had to, for my 9 Ladies Dancing book, they had a bunch of revels for 12th night, and they all dressed up in like costumes, and they had to be themselves, or they had to play their character, or they would have to pay a forfeit at the end of the night, or like in the middle of the night. I don't know. And so a lot of the forfeits were kissing games. So this book had come out, I think it was 1825. So it's a little after, but I'm not exactly positive. But they had a lot of the forfeits on there were a lot of like kissing games where they had to like pay forfeits in like the form of kissing and everything. So I'll have to share with you the link to that book, because some of the kissing games are on there. I know, because I was like, I can't put this in my book. That's not appropriate.
I know.
We're really out there.
Oh
I know.
my gosh.
And like most of the games that I've heard of and read about, like require insane memory. Like, have you noticed that in some of them? So like you have to be able to remember things. There's one I wanted to mention first. Oh, this one isn't really a memory game, but have you guys ever done bullet pudding? Have you
No.
ever played that one? Okay.
No, but I have played it. Yes, I have played it before.
Have you?
Yes. I've played it several times, and I don't remember. It was when I was littler. Little. I don't know exactly how old I was because, like, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, let alone like what happened when I was my age when I played games. But I think it was birthday parties that we played it because that's the one with the flower, right? That you put like a coin on top.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
played that.
Yeah.
I've
the
never
flower
heard of it.
game.
And then,
Yeah.
which I don't know how they did it, but then we would take a knife and try and cut away a part. Each
Yeah.
person had to do that until the thing fell. And then if
Yeah.
the coin fell, didn't you have to like pick it out with your teeth?
With your
then
mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I have played that.
Yeah. Martha said she played that when she was younger as well. I've always wanted to because it's in the new, I think it's in the new Emma.
Emma, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Why
I
is it
still
called
haven't
pudding,
seen.
though? Anyone
Oh,
know
really?
that?
You need to watch it. I don't. It's probably a play on what they used to call like a dessert,
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
So maybe they call it like that, maybe.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the one where they put like the boiling like brandy or whatever, and they put raisins in it, and then you have to pop them out and put them in your mouth. That's what I thought you were referring
What's
to.
that
I
one
don't know what
called?
it's called?
Fire or something.
Yeah,
Fire?
I'll look it up.
It's really called fire.
I think that's what it's called. Fire.
I think it does actually have fire in the name, but I could be totally making that up.
See, that's what I thought. Are you looking it up now, Jess? This
I
is
was
good
gonna
TV
look it
right
up.
here.
It is riveting. Stay tuned so you can find out what it's called.
If I can find it, I don't know if I can. Oh, it's called.
Oh, look! Somebody just said.
Oh,
So
Snapdragon.
Ashley Hunter said Snapdragon.
Snapdragon. That's
Snapdragon.
it.
Yep.
Thank you,
Gonna say it.
Ashley. She
think
also
it's
said
the dragon.
Spillikin sounds painful. It's
The
true.
dragon is what made me think of fire, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Snapdragon. Yeah.
Snap
like
fire is probably what it should have been called, but that's okay.
Maybe it's because you snapped them into your mouth and then it was so hot that you like your breath was hot like dragon. I don't know.
Probably.
sometimes I think they must have been just so bored during the Regency period. And then sometimes, like some of these games, I'm like, I don't think we could play that these days. Like you have to have like so much like wit and like you said,
Yeah.
Deborah, like so much
Yeah.
memory or like use of like language. And I'm
And
like, oh,
time.
we would do so bad at some of these games. Like the ones
Mhm.
where like the Austins, they used to play that game where you would get like 5 words that like, you know, it'd be like purse, hearse, and then like sorrow. I was just reading about one, something else that rhymes with hers and tomorrow. And you have to make like a poem
Yeah.
using these words and you
Oh my
compete.
gosh.
And I'm like, is that a game? That sounds like an assignment to me, you know, like
Well, yeah, it's like English class. That everyone-
Yeah.
I know.
I was
Well,
so
you
happy
have
with
like
what I come up with.
oodles of time on your hands. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, most of these games lasted forever.
Yeah.
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 I mean, a game of whist is not just a quick old maid game. You know, it's not like a hurry, deal it out.
Mm-mm.
It's like
No.
sit down and we're staying for a few hours.
Yeah. Because they had multiple rounds in it, I think.
Oh,
Or
really?
something like that. Yeah. There's also another game that takes like a lot of memory from, I think, Ashton Newbold, her book, The Ace of Hearts, I think is what it was. There's a game called Aviary, I think. And she did it so well in her book. I just wanted to mention it because I had read about it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this sounds so insanely complicated because you all have to have, everybody like picks the name of a bird that's chosen. And then you all have to like choose, you have to give your heart and share a secret and pluck a feather. And you have to choose 3 separate of the birds and have like none of them chosen before you, or you have to pay a forfeit kind of thing. Like, and it's just like, and then you have to remember who you chose and who the other people chose. So you have that. And like, it's like mind blowing. It would stress the heck out of me to play any of these games. Because when I get like put on the spot, especially for playing with like strangers or like at a dinner party with people you're not usually used to, like it's like this, I just don't think I could handle it. It would just not.
I could have 20 years ago when I remembered things, but now I'd have to be like, I'm out. Sorry. First round.
I'd be like, duck. I know no other birds.
Or I'd have to learn to cheat really well. Those were my options, I think.
That would be a fun character in a romance.
The forgettable one, the forgetting one that cheats because you can't remember.
Are we back?
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, Deborah, I loved your game. I'm glad we're talking about it because I keep forgetting to talk to you about it. The Lady of Luena. Did I say it right?
For the Lady of Luena, yeah.
Okay.
My titles are like 17 pages long, so we just like.
I like panic every time I get ready to say it. Like,
no,
get it right. But the ocean game or sea game, you know, with the water. Yeah. I was reading that. I was like, I want to go to the beach right now so I can play that game.
Yeah. So I did not find that in a Regency thing. So don't quote me as that being Regency. But honestly, they would have to come up with things like that, right? Like random things like that. But I was at the beach once and I was watching some people playing a game, and like I couldn't tell exactly what they were playing, but I think they were playing that, but I couldn't be sure. And so I like
figured out. Kind of made it up.
Yeah. So I
I
kind of pretended that that's the game that they were playing. So the game was like they just stuck a stick. I'm sure other people. It is a game. I'm just saying I made it up. So, so you take the stick out into the ocean, and if you get touched with the water, you get out. And then the next person has to go and run the stick and try to stick it out farther in the ocean. And then so on and so on. So I have that in that book. And, but yeah, so I was just watching people like throw a stick out or something. So I was just like, oh, that would be fun if they did this. And then I put it in the book. So yeah.
You're that fun mom, aren't you? That like comes up with games for everything.
Yeah, sometimes I do, only to get some freedom, but that's okay.
I love that. I'm totally playing that when we go to the ocean. Like,
yeah, it would be super fun. Okay, let me see another question. Okay, so there are different types of games. Like they've got the normal card games. Mm-hmm. There's a comment. There's a game in Emma where they would have to unscramble the letters. Yes. See, I could probably do that one. That one's kind of like almost like Scrabble. I like that one, but I could do that. It sounds a little easier. Okay. So they have like the card games, and then they have the parlor games where you have to like get up and get around and move. Then they have like the outside games. Which of the ones would you guys prefer playing?
I would play the outside or the inside game probably last. The card games, although that's a lie because I love like phase 10.
Yeah.
But for myself, I would probably do those games. But for my characters, I want them up and moving and having to like be with each other and remove clothing. Yeah. That sounded bad, but you know what I mean. Jackets. Probably cravats.
I've never done that in one of my books, and now I totally want to because
you should.
It sounds nice. Yeah.
It sounds nice.
Very nice.
Very pleasant.
Okay. Let's talk about whist for a minute. Kelly says, didn't they bowl in the Regency period? Lawn bowling. I believe so.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Yes, I just read about lawn bowling on Jane whatever UK, the one you were Jane Austen UK.
JaneWhatever.com.
JaneWhatever.com. Jane
Is it really that?
No.
It's like janeausten.co.uk.
Yeah.
That one. And it was like a medieval game that was outlawed. And it was because people stopped doing archery and were doing lawn bowling instead. And so they actually outlawed it because they wanted people working on archery because it was a necessary thing. Anyway, it was like blew my mind. And not until 1845 did they finally like overturn this law that was like, you can only play it in your own lawn. Like no servants or anything could play it except for on like holidays. And you had to get a permit if you had a property over like 100 pounds or something. You had to have a permit to play it.
That is so interesting.
Wild.
What? Anyway, it was really interesting history that they had on janesomething.uk.
We're gonna have to have like a fact check segment of this where we like come back later. It's actually this.
I know. It was linked to an encyclopedia, the UK encyclopedia, who agreed with her. So
we're just fine.
Anyway,
I mean a website fact check, like or add the link.
Totally true.
Sure. If I'm wrong, blame Jane something.
Right. It's jamesomething.com's fault.
.com's fault, not mine.
That's what we just need to do.
If you're going to jamesomething.com, that might be part of your problem.
Yeah.
Why not consider that?
It's totally legit, Mindy. Totally legit.
I got it off Wikipedia.
So. I get all my research for my book.
Oh boy. We need to have a disclaimer in front of all of our videos. Not historically accurate.
No.
Whatever. We do our best. We do our best. That's all that's what's
and
important.
Like Sarah said, we research when we need it, but it doesn't ever stay.
No.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. We do our research. Let's just have everybody end with that. We do our research. We just don't remember it after we write it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We have, oh my goodness, that went way too fast. Okay. We're going to skip over Whist. Whist is fun. Everyone should play it.
There's some good tutorials online.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And once you know the rules and like how to play it, then it's fun. Otherwise, it's not super fun if you don't know. Right, Mindy?
Yeah. It was fun because it was mostly just, I was all with Regency friends. So it was, It's not that it wasn't fun. I just still was like,
the game.
I had no idea what you're doing. And people would be like, oh, look, you do that. And I'd be like, okay.
Just tell me what to put down. Yeah. Okay. We're going to play a little game in the last few minutes. Called Short Answers. And this is the one I read about. And this is also in that one little book I was reading. So
what's the book?
What?
Remember what the book is? You might need to message me that one too.
I will. It's Merry Makers or something like that.
Oh, I think I might have just bought that one.
I told you it was on Google Books. And then you said, oh, I'll buy it anyway. And so I said, okay. You don't remember like that conversation, but that's okay.
Totally sounds like me. No, I just bought like 4 books. My husband was like, seriously, another Jane Austen book? And I was like, yeah.
This is work, babe.
Hello. Anyway.
Okay. So in the game, you have to sit I don't know how to pronounce alternatively, lady and gentleman. And then the lady asks her right-hand neighbor. So we're just going to pretend that 2 of us are men. We ask a right-hand neighbor a question, and then the man has to reply by a word of 1 syllable. And then if he says more than 1 syllable, it says you have to pay a fine or a forfeit. I put in my book that the character's out because it's just easier than paying forfeits, and I didn't want to get into those kissy, murky waters. So
you are wimp.
I am. I didn't want to be called out.
And then research to back it up. I say you do it.
Okay. Well, next book then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can put that in your author's note. If you have a problem with this, please contact Mindy Strunk at.
I was gonna say Mindy.
Mindy Strunk at whatever.com.
At whatever.com. That's exactly it.
Okay. So if we repeat a question or repeat an answer, we're out. So we don't have to play the whole out thing because that's not fun. Everyone's a winner here. And yeah, so
participation trophy.
What?
I said everyone gets a participation trophy.
Exactly. So we're just going to ask each other, we're just going to ask a question. We'll just go around in a circle. And then we answer with one word syllable.
Wait, we have to ask questions too?
Yes. So you can just
gosh.
you can ask any random question.
Okay.
Okay.
But the questions can be more than one syllable, right? I don't know
Yes.
how you don't have one.
Yes?
Yes. Okay. Was that your question, Mindy?
Sure. If it gets to go to someone else's turn, then yes, it was.
Okay. I'll ask the first question and I'll just do Jess. And then Jess can ask Mindy. Mindy can ask Sarah. Sarah can ask me. And we'll include the viewers, all 8 of you. We're going to say, we're going to have Sarah, you can ask the viewer a question. And then the viewer can ask us all a question. Me a question. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Jess. Oh, and we have to speak in Regency talk.
Oh, no. No.
Mindy said we had to.
No.
So you can take it up with Mindy.
We thought you were asking all the questions, Deborah.
Not in a British accent.
No.
I was just meaning you would ask it like you would in your book.
Well,
Yeah.
I write very modern, so.
Well, I'm going to say I write modern too then. Yo, Jess. Okay.
I don't really
Okay.
use chisel. I was just kidding.
Okay. Where are you sitting, Jess?
Chair.
Good job. See, that's great. Okay, ask Mindy.
Mindy. What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
I told you I'm going to have to be like clapping to say my syllable.
Please do, so that I won't feel bad when I have to do it.
They're like all more than one syllable. Good. Good ice cream is my favorite. Rich ice cream is my favorite. Oh, now I have to come up with a question.
Okay, something easy.
Okay, Sarah.
What?
Mint. Someone just said, Lisa said mint.
Ooh,
Oh,
good one,
good
Lisa.
job. Yeah, we need help. We need help, Elise. Let's see. I don't even know questions. I should have known. I should have written them down beforehand.
I know.
That's why I didn't tell you guys, because I didn't write down my questions either. So just come up with it. Be witty, like your characters.
It takes
Where-
time.
I know. It takes me 10 days to make one sentence witty.
Where wilt thou go on holiday?
Sand? Does that work?
What did you
Good.
say?
Say part of the problem.
What
is
did
we
you
don't know
say?
she said sand.
Oh,
Sand.
sure, yeah.
But I was going to say part of the problem is I don't know if she's frozen or if she's thinking.
That's what I'm going to do when I don't want to have to answer. Just. Okay, so now I ask
The audience.
The audience.
Okay. What do you love about Regency?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Let's wait. Bath. That's a for the other one.
Oh, beach.
Holiday.
Duh, instead
Beach.
of
Holiday.
sand.
That's a good one. Oh, we're anxiously waiting your answers.
It's probably just like all of our. Oh, swoon.
Swoon. Yes.
Swoon, that's a good one.
That's an excellent. Love. Oh, yes. That's a good one as well.
Kiss.
These are great ones. Okay. Now
I'd
we're
say
going to have.
wit.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, too. Okay. Now the audience ask me a question. Actually, just ask one question and then all of us will try to answer it. So all
How
you
are they
viewers.
going to formulate one question?
What?
How are they going to only ask one question?
No,
First
if
one.
anyone can ask,
One
and
gets
then
it.
we'll all try to answer.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? They're supposed to huddle together?
Yeah, Mindy. That's what they do.
You have to
That's
form
why
a
you're
chat.
in charge, Deborah, and not me.
We need the music. Do, do, do,
There we go.
do, do, do.
And then we all have to move to make sure they know we're not frozen.
Oh.
See, questions are hard. Still waiting. Maybe no one has one. Mint Couch Woods. Oh, good job, Rebecca. You answered all of them.
There we go.
What is your favorite book? Lisa asks. That's cheating.
Pride.
Oh.
Pride.
Did you just steal mine?
Is that what you said? I thought you said pride.
That's what I said, Mindy.
I thought you were joking.
Emma.
I thought you were joking too.
Oh, that's 2 syllables.
Oh, it is.
It is.
No,
Oh,
Emma.
shoot.
Emma.
No, Emma
Mindy
is.
said Emma. Yours is good, Sarah. You're
Sense.
good with pride. What?
Oh,
Sense.
okay, yeah.
I actually like Sense and Sensibility better than Emma.
Oh, really? Interesting. There's another question. What's something that makes you happy?
Books.
Oh, that's good. Clouds. Is that 1 syllable? Cloud?
Yeah.
Depends how you say it. Clouds.
Clouds. This
Sweet
is revealing.
is sweet.
This is revealing too much of how much we don't know about language.
This is why we have editors.
What's a syllable? Food, Sarah says. Yes,
Food,
that is
that's
a good
one.
one. Oh,
Kids.
she said Jane for her favorite.
Sometimes.
Kids. Oh, yeah. That's a good answer.
There.
That's what we should all say.
Kids, yes. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, Kelly says, what is your favorite flavor? Flavor of what? Flavor of anything?
Rose.
Rose, really?
I don't know. I just said it. It's
Like your favorite scent?
Have you ever had rose Turkish delight?
No, but Martha was just telling me about that. She said it was so bad.
It's awful. My
What is
brother-in-law
Turkish
brought some.
delight?
It's like,
not what you think it is.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Narnia. It's not some yum caramel dessert.
exactly. When I was like, oh my gosh, I want to taste Turkish delight. My brother-in-law brought some home from Bulgaria from his mission, and I ate it, and I was like, what is this? Like, it's like this mushy, perfumey. It's not very good. The powder around the edge is kind of good, but that's about it. Okay, I think we've passed our time, guys. And I think we've rambled a little bit. Okay, we're going to end now. I'm so glad that everyone was here watching us and participating. This was a lot of fun talking about our Regency games. This has been fun. Next week, we will not have one. We're doing it every other week. So in 2 Tuesdays, we will see you for another Sweet Regency Ramblings. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.